Good morning. We're getting back to it. This is one of those mornings where I don't feel like painting, but I got a schedule to keep. Push through a little bit till I wake up. Maybe talk some Warhammer with all you fine people. Get me in the mood. John, hey buddy, Stormbolter, got your battle pilgrims. I immediately assembled them. Not ready to paint them yet, buddy. I cannot wait. I want to push real hard to get a couple. Like I said last week, I want to get 3 projects done. I only got 1 done, so I'm gonna push to get 2 projects done. I suspect it's gonna be hard to get 1 done. This Eldar army. If I get this done by the end of the week, well, my weekend ends today. I want to get this done by Tuesday. That hopefully by the end of next weekend, I can finish the last of the Dark Angels. But your thumb's in a different spot, so that I can then go hard and heavy into Bretonnia. Bretonnia did bump, obviously. Hey, Germany. Buddy, I'm still waking up. On which project? So, hey, rolling ones. Um, on this Eldar project, I have to finish these 10 Wraithguard. Then I have to assemble and paint 10 Wraith Blades. And then I have 3 Wraith Tears that are almost at, well, no, they're a little past the 50% done stage. But this project, I keep saying, isn't important. Well, no, it's not that it's not important. It's not time sensitive, other than the fact I want to get it off my painting table. Basically, I'm just starting this army so that when the Eldar book comes out for 9th edition, that I'm ready to go right away. Cover it. You know, obviously I'll add a bunch more then, but I want to build about 2,500 points so I can cover it on the proper. I can feel how sluggish I am. It was rainy yesterday. It's still wet out today. Feel it. Feel it in my bones. It's not my birthday, Jonathan. It's not my birthday. Jonathan, you didn't get me a single thing for all 7 of my birthdays. So, Jack from Rolling Ones, you want to give me your opinion on 3rd edition Sigmar? What are you thinking? You know, I don't think I've played proper 9th edition 40k. Well, I think I'm playing Open War. And honestly, I don't think I'm a fan of Open War like at all anymore. Yeah, well, let's get some Eldar in. Yeah, I mean, the more I've been playing a lot of third edition, the more I'm playing of it, the more I'm loving it. Like, I think almost every change was a major positive, with the exception of the coherency thing, which I think it's way too early to judge. I'll see how the all the battle tomes pan out, but like I don't know. I still haven't seen the General's Handbook, and I feel like I have half the information. Like I need that General's Handbook. I need to see what they're doing with scenarios. I need to see the first layout of the first battle tomes. But like I'm very optimistic for the game. Like it's I don't know how long you've been playing Sigmar. I've been playing right from the beginning, but when it first came out, it just wasn't a game, and they've been consistently. Well, I mean, we have a rule book finally instead of a 4-page pamphlet, which at the time worked. It was an idea. All the rules were on the war scrolls, but yeah, the evolution has been nothing but positive. Well, I will always maintain that the priority role is a negative for the game, unfortunately, but not everybody agrees with that. Yeah, that but I really enjoyed my Age of Sigmar games, except for the last one felt very much like playing 40k. The last game I played, the last pairing I did, I think will be on Tuesday, was very much a 40k game. They just like in tone and feeling, and the way we played, decisions we made, we weren't always going for the kill, which is a positive for the game. Play the scenario, play the objectives, play the secondaries and stuff. Man, Stormbolter, that Horus Heresy game was a freaking blast. I actually wasn't gonna kill. Spoilers, because it's early, doesn't matter. I actually wasn't gonna kill the dogs. I maintained I'm not gonna do it, but I was generally afraid of Russ munching through my lines. And then I knew if I shot him, he'd send the wounds off for the dogs. So it was win-win for Luca. He was either making me kill those puppies, or he was going to lose the game. Either way, it was win-win. Or sorry, he's either going to make me kill the puppies or win. And yeah, he played me very well. The horse hit 100%. Lucan, well, I didn't have a lot of fun with everybody, but there's something about okay. So Luca and I are like we have no other responsibilities in the building beyond making battle reports. Everybody else who's on camera also has a bunch of other things they have to do. No, I do. Luke and I both do painting. Luke does some. I do a lot, but like the bulk of our job is bat reps. So we Luke and I film more bat reps than any two of the others combined. And because of that, there's this mentality of beating the grind or fighting the grind. Um, that we'll just do goofy like this. It's hard to explain. It's not that we don't take the bat reps as seriously with each other because we very much do, and we both always want to win. But we just have just a different mindset going in because we just play so often and then so often with each other. Which like the laughter is never fake in any bat rep. If the producers are goofing around laughing, you can't fake that. You just can't. So Jack, the last couple of books that came out in second edition, well, the last three, I'm thinking about Slaanesh, Lumineth Realm Lords, and I don't really know much about the Soulblight Grave Lords, but I'm pretty sure for all three of those books, the coherency is meaningless. It doesn't matter for them. Slaanesh has 2-inch coherency on everything that you want to fight, or is a bow. Um, Realm Lords have 3-inch coherency on everything that you want fighting, or is a bow. And Soulblight is 25 mil bases, or is like I know you want the only 1-inch range on the Vampire, the Blood Knights, but they have like if you had a squad of 15 of them running in and out, constantly charging, and then like rallying, it might have been too good. So I think it's not bad for them. You want to keep them at squads of 5. I think it might be wishful thinking, but I think the coherency issue is a temporary problem. I don't know if you play 40k, but 40k has kind of 2 games going. I want to exaggerate the problem to make a point, but like there's all the games in 9th edition that have 9th edition army books, and there's all the games that don't have 9th edition. It's like 2 different games. I feel we're about to enter that with Age of Sigmar. We're going to have the new battle tomes are going to play one way, and the old battle tomes are going to be restricted until they get updated, not play as well. That's my prediction. I don't know if that's true. I want to see Jonas Hamburg. I want to see that first battle tome, the first pairing of battle tomes. Get a real good answer on that. But yeah, you're right. For now, we have to adjust. Like, my Beast of Chaos, my Ungors, I just became my best fighters. Yeah, Seraphim. So Will.i.am, Seraphim took a huge hit with the AOS rules. All AOS rules have been released on the Bell Lost Souls page. Like, well, no, I mean, is there anything more on Bell Lost Souls? Let me just look that up real quick. Because you can download the rules from Games Workshop from the community website now, like the full core rules, not the scenarios though. See just something on Bell Lost Souls I'm aware of. I haven't been on this site in a while. Is Dark Alliance gonna be any good? I'm seeing an ad for Dark Alliance on Bell Lost Souls. Yeah, there's nothing near that. Okay. But yeah, there's a rumor floating around that you're not gonna be able to use bound spells. Sorry, bound endless spells anymore for the Seraphim, which is technically in there. Like, they're gonna still be able to control one each. I don't know. So it's a rumor. I don't know if it's true. But like the source knights and warriors were already really lackluster. Well, okay, the source warriors are really lackluster, and these got heavily nerfed by the coherency thing. But maybe spears might be viable, but still, I don't. The source knights, they have a lot of attacks, but they just don't. I found the best way to use the source knights were to bring squads of 10 and just like send them like as many attacks as possible in, because they don't have quality attacks, they have quantity of attacks. And now this coherency thing is going to cut down their amount of attacks. So I think source knights took a huge hit, but the Stegatrons just got better. Like, there is hope for that army. There is. You just have to change the way you play in the short term. But yeah, Stegatron's so much better. I think Seraphim did take a hit, but they also gained a lot as well. It depends on your collection and how big of a hit you took, right? Jonathan Kelly. So the first edition was Hypothesis, second edition was Theory, and third edition. Yeah, I agree. Jonathan Kelly, for the first time ever, said something in chat that was coherent, reasonable, and intelligent. No offense, but I actually love it. Yeah, I love that. I love that. It took some years, but yeah, I love your analysis there, Jonathan. Good morning, USA. What are you gonna paint, Derek Brown? Let me know. Did I see Josh's Imperial Fist painted? I did see them on his desk. He already played a game with Luke. I think it might have went out actually. Let me go check. That bat rep might have gone in. Yeah, it did. It did. I wasn't in the building the day they recorded it. They filmed, like, I go in on film them too. So I had this new thing where I work. It's only been like 6 months where I work 10-hour days and only work 4 days a week. And I stay home one of those days and do painting. It's Tuesdays. So I'm only in the studio 3 days a week, 10 hours a day, and I feel like I'm never there anymore. I used to like live in that building. How did Facehammer get their hands on the Journal's Handbook? Has it been leaked? Like, I saw some point costs floating around, like scans of the points floating around Reddit. But is the whole thing out there? No, Will.i.am. No, is this true? Okay, well, I'll have to go watch that video when I'm done this. Yeah, hey, Stormbolter John, do I need to watch that bat rep? Is this something I need to watch? I watch a lot of stuff from a bunch of channels. I typically don't watch our stuff that often. or ever, to be honest with you. But like seeing Imperial Fist, I might need to watch it. You think at some point I can make some RPG videos on the channel? Sure. I don't think so. This channel is gonna be pretty much dedicated to miniature wargaming. You're more likely to see me like do that on Twitch. I don't know. I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna say that. Luca might want to play some Warhammer. What's it called? It's the fantasy RPG. I forget what it's called. I just woke up. I'm not a morning person. And it's like 10:30 in the morning. He, I would stream that. Oh, yeah, Jack. I love the 410s way better. I get way more painting. I'm actually working more because of it because I'm poor, but I love painting, so it's okay. Even though I'm not putting any paint on miniature right now, I actually apparently just enjoy chatting with everybody more. Frenchie, how's it going, buddy? Are you serious? We didn't get ours. I was gonna send a message. You know what? I'll deal with this after. That's disappointing. We didn't get ours. Or somebody in the office got it and didn't fill any, which doesn't happen. Well, it happens, but doesn't. I'm blaming the mail. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go scour. But I'm done chatting with you guys. I'm gonna go scour the find all the information again. Social studies teacher. It's easy. It's being able to deal with that burden is also ingrained in your genetics. It's how you live. You get used to it. Yeah, I actually want to. I don't want to ask for like I want to like you shouldn't give spoilers in this chat because people haven't watched the horse race about. But like I just want to know if like Luca won or lost that. I want to know how well the Fist did. Like rule says, they lose the game because there's a freshly painted army, so they lose. You never know. Luca also just loses for no reason a lot. The dice just like Luca will have like the greatest dice rolls and just can't fill a 4 bin ball or stuff like that. And then there's some games the dice like, you know what, Luca, we don't want you to play today, or we want you to win, we don't want you to play. You're not doing a thing. Sometimes the dice just fight him. But also he does generally have really good dice rolls. You think Games Workshop compensated the units that got hurt by the new coherency rule wise or point wise? No, I don't think so, Bobby. I doubt they would have. Well, I mean, history said they. How do I put this? They shouldn't. It's too much work to try to rebalance that with the new coherency. That could throw things out of worse balance. When the proper fix is to give them a new battle tome, which is what they're going to do. Now we've seen the 9th edition codex for 40k rapidly come out and only get slowed down by COVID. I think it's safe to assume we're going to get a rapid release of battle tomes. Can't say for sure, but I think it's safe to assume, and that's the best way to fix this moving forward. Like I said, if you like 10 minutes ago, I said I suspect, I don't know if this is true, I suspect we're about to enter a weird Age of Sigmar where you're going to see the game split into two temporarily, kind of like how 40k is, whereas you're going to have the 3rd edition battle tomes fighting each other on the same power level, and then everything else trying to play the game still, but differently with ranging power levels. Some will be unplayable, and some will still be pretty good and be able to play a little bit with the new battle tomes, but it'll be wonky for a while. But I mean, okay, so I know, not to be controversial, I know some people like to say 9th edition has serious power creep. I think that's only said by inexperienced people. I think the power creep in 9th edition is almost non-existent. I think the 9th edition army books have been really close in power level. You can argue that the Space Wolves one might be the weakest, but it is still very much on par and can play with the best one, which everybody always has the last one that came. I don't think that's true this time around. And now I am discounting the Death Guard. So that one, I don't know. I think they mucked that one up a bit, and it's not really. I don't see that as. But that being said, yeah, whatever. I don't like. Buddy, how many Frenchie? How many models are in your Solar Auxiliary Army? That the Hornet model? I love the Hornet model. I was gonna buy some. I decided not to because they're really expensive. But I'm gonna wait and see how they like what I want to buy. I have a bunch of armies, so there's only so many things you can buy. But yeah, I really like that model. I was gonna buy them, but I have enough of the regular Warwalkers that I'm not gonna paint. But yeah. But I want to wait and see new battle tome. Like if a new army book codex comes out for Eldar soon, or and the way I want to play them requires me to have Hornets, I will definitely get them. Or even suggest that they might be pretty good. Yes, I have heard about the new 10,000 point game from Squarehammer. If you are a Warhammer Fantasy fan, Squarehammer has a 10,000 point game of, I think it's like Skaven versus, I forget, I actually forget. I love the guys at Squarehammer. They are doing God's work. Well, the Chaos God's work. Email sent? Okay, cool. Take a look. No, okay, I have to defend Luca. Because there are two things that that Luca does that constantly cost him games. These aren't exclusive. Other things happen, but these are two things I know happens. One, things are going too well for him, or his opponent's not having fun, something like that, and he starts to do goofy things to make the game more interesting. Luca's always thinking, even when Luca was a guest, he would more worry about the viewer than winning the game. He used to, for a year and a half, he came in once a week to play fantasy. He's like, I'll just do this because it'll be more entertaining for the viewer. I'm like, no, dude, do whatever you think is going to win the game. Luca's always trying to like make the battle report better. Sometimes it costs him his victory. And sometimes when things aren't going his way, he gets in his head and he can't think right and he makes worse and worse decisions. It's a domino effect. And he knows it. Like, it's just like, yeah. I love it. Yeah, Lucas. Yeah, I get that. Oh, there was fists in the army. Boo. I mean, Custodes. Boo, Custodes. Even though I like Josh's black and gold ones, but boo, Custodes. Hi, Steve. In a tournament next week, and one of the players is running a 10-man Deathwing Terminator squad with Blade Guard, one Apothecary Park. Been told is really strong. Yeah, it's hard to shift. It's very hard to shift. There are a few things that can deal with it quite well. Um, like that won't be a problem for Eldar. Oh, sorry, Drukhari. Um, but you throw just a crap ton of shots into them, like low quality attacks. That's the scariest thing for Terminators. You pay a lot of points for high quality attacks to outright kill them. Low quality attacks will kill them, but I would not make your. I would never recommend tailoring a list to fight one particular list you're going to fight in the tournament. You mitigate whatever list you're planning on bringing, mitigate your losses against this list if you can't take it on. But basically, they're slow. They're gonna. If this is he's spending how many points to tournament? It's got to be 2,000 points. Okay, so he's got 3 10-man Deathwing Terminator squads that are costing like 400 or 500 points a squad, depending on loadout, right? The Apothecary on a bike is a problem. Get him if you can, because he's gonna keep bringing Terminators back. But basically, you're probably not gonna win in a brawl with these guys. You can outshoot them, but that means they're probably gonna outscore you. You gotta just slow them down. You gotta block. You have to body block them because they can't fly and they move 5 inches. If you're real fast, you get in their face and stand in front of them. That squad's dead, and you score your points. And then you get in their face with another. Like you have different tactics depending what army you're playing. A super fast, like Tyranids, just tons and tons of bodies of gaunts and stuff, they're never gonna get these Terminators will never get to the objectives. That's a hard counter to this. But if you're playing against, like, say, I don't know, another Space Marine army, this army is probably gonna do very well against. Obviously, there are some exceptions. It depends on what you're playing. But yeah, but basically, like, the Terminators have so many points per in their units that they have to efficiently get their points back and score. So if you can just throw cheap things at them, even a single attack bike, if you're playing Space Marines, a single attack bike to block them, do not allow him to get effective use out of his Terminators, and that's how you'll beat them. Any tips on getting your yellow? I took that on all my live streams. I painted them on maybe I can pay somebody. I don't have time to edit it out. But it's here you go. Airbrush Troll Slayer Orange. Wait, focus. Troll Slayer, what's it called? Troll Slayer Orange. And then I kind of Zenithal highlight. Well, I kind of give it a little bit more than a Zenithal highlight. Like, it's 60%. Actually, I'll say it's 60% highlight with Uriel yellow from Games Workshop out of my airbrush. Thin it down a little bit, and then Phalanx yellow and kind of the Zenithal for the yellow. Then just airbrush it, and then once I get all the base coats colored, I will gloss coat them, and then I'll shade the crevices with Cassandora yellow, and then I'll give it a satin coat. Oh, my orc painting technique. Sorry, I read your first comment, not your second one. Orc one's different. Okay, so I basically is actually pretty similar. Go dark, then go this one, and then any chance you're a Mini Wargaming Vault member? Because I painted Gaz on camera for them. Go look for that video and see it. If not, let me know for that, and then I can explain afterwards, because it's not that dissimilar to what I just did for the guys. The work video isn't even close to 15 years. 70 infantry and some tanks, eh? Hey, Anthony. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do. But yesterday we had some problems where I have all the army books still on my dining room table, and I haven't brought them back in. So I actually meant to. I shouldn't be doing the stream. I was gonna record a bunch of them, so I can bring the books back. But I'm probably gonna have to record all of them this weekend, and then probably release them a little bit faster than a week. Maybe 2 a week. Haven versus Gay, there's 1,000 clan rats. Bring AdMac to 21. Yeah, AdMac can put some firepower into them, right? Okay, so if you're playing AdMech, you gotta bring 2 of your flyers and just keep you can stasis bomb. Is that what it's called? Stasis bomb? You can like you're gonna stasis bomb one of his units per turn. He will have to dedicate putting down your flyers, your bombers. If he doesn't, he's gonna lose the game. So you can do that. So just make sure you. I would bring 2 because they're cheap. They're dirt cheap if you're playing AdMech. Stasis bomb 1 unit and make sure 1 is constantly protected so he can't kill 2 in 1 turn. But his Terminators are generally gonna mow through you. Anything you want to fight him with, like, his Terminators will mow through you. Get a body block. Yeah, but how powerful is Croak? I still haven't. So I have Croak's model on my desk. I don't know who painted it. I think it was Ben Bradbury. I'm not sure who painted it. It's sitting on my desk. It's a freaking beautiful model. I still have not cracked open his. Skinks have taken a couple of hits, right? They can't move instead of fight, and now they're up from 60 to 75 points. I don't think that point cost is that big a deal. I really don't. Oh no, Vault member. Okay, so how I do yellow is pretty much the same. I give it an orange coat, and then I use Uriel yellow. I use airbrush for everything. And then I'll water down like a lighter yellow and kind of highlight the edges. But you don't have to be very accurate. I use Agrax Earthshade like around crevices. I use a Cassandora around like crevices and around bolts and stuff. I use them both. The thing about orcs is you don't have to be very accurate. Any mistakes you make adds to the weather. And then I just like chip it up by just taking like Idox hide and like tapping the edges. I'll pick an edge. So Ride Oxide, and then I'll do some bigger ones and lower ones, and then I'll do it again with the metal, and then like you don't have to be great. I love orcs are fantastic for starter painter because if you just get brown or metal or buck on the yellow, it's not a big deal. It's like, oh, it's part of it. Weathering, bad orc painting, their armor. I'm not doing anything at the moment, but we're getting there. We still gotta shade everything and need more black on the guns. The guns will need still an edge highlight and then a big bunch of shading. But basically, these painting streams are very little painting. My favorite miniatures to paint are pretty much anything fantasy is fun to paint. 40k. I love painting orcs. Orcs are my favorite to paint in 40k for sure, hands down. Can't even debate. Maybe Iron Warriors. I love the Iron Warriors 40k paint scheme, but no, I'll say orcs. For fantasy, again, orcs. I love painting orcs. Weird. Yeah, I love my cans. I hope when a new book comes out, they're more violent. They real. And mortal, yeah, I call them immortal wounds, right? But basically, the best part of the Seismic Bomb against the Deathwing is having their movement. Because any mortal wounds you do to them, the Apothecary is gonna bring them back and heal. Like, unless you're putting out a ton of mortal wounds or a ton of damage into the squad, the mortal wounds part against the Deathwing isn't doing anything because you're gonna seismic one unit and put your firepower into a different unit. You're not gonna add to the damage. Then the Apothecary is gonna repair and bring back, and he's gotta give him multiple. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, every time you kill one Terminator from unit, you have to kill two. Two is one, right? Because the Apothecaries are so. So yeah, well, I officially I gotta take some photos. I'm not calling to it. I officially finished 6,000 points of Iron Warriors. It's actually technically only 5,000 points. I keep saying 6,000 points. It's exactly 5,000 points on the nose of Iron Warriors and 1,000 points of AdMech Allied Detachment, which I plan on adding. Anthony, that's cool. I love hearing that we got people back in the hobby. I love this hobby so much. It's a I mean it's a time sink and a money sink. It kills your wallet, your back, and time. But it's a fantastic hobby. So the repetitiveness I get, but I have like anywhere from 3 to 6 armies. Well, also rephrase. I anywhere from 2 to 6 armies per game I play, per system I play. I just jump around to keep myself from getting too bored with the paint. There's only so many space marines I can paint before like I gotta paint. There's only so many orcs I can paint before I gotta go back and paint some. And that's why I always every now and then, like today, I want to maintain a schedule, but today I'm not really in the mood to do this. So what I would do is I would take a character or something that I don't really need and just paint that instead. Yeah, this is fantastic stretch. Put some paint on it. And like honestly, this doesn't even feel like painting. I'm putting contrast on these. I'm gonna take 2 layers. This is the kind of paint I can do while streaming. Could I rate my opinion on Loyal Space Marine chapters only from the original chapters? Are you talking? Well, it varies from Heresy to 40k, right? Maybe not. Okay, so let's. We gotta remember the nine. We have Ultramarines, Imperial Fists, Raven Guard, Iron Hands, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angels. What am I forgetting? I guess I better 40k. Not 4k. White Scars. One more, one more. I don't know how big of a delay we have before you start seeing what I'm talking about. Come on now. Salamanders. Okay, okay. Uh, I've always loved the Salamanders. I love the paint scheme ever since the Armageddon book came out, and I love that they're kind of like the good guys and they're stoic and they'll kill their whole legion before they give up. Um, but they can use a little more character. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say this but I'm gonna say it. Sorry, buddy. I find the Ultramarines so incredibly boring. Sorry. Guilliman's cool. I like Guilliman. Don't get me wrong. The plain blue is a little too plain Jane for me. The other color scheme. Um, and the fact that the reputation of the generic, like the word, the vanilla, for so many years, um, made them feel like vanilla. Like I know they deserve more. They deserve more than so I kind of feel good. But then the Tyrannic War veteran, well, okay, that's kind of yeah. I just but my main thing is the blue. I don't know. White Scar is really cool. But they're obviously the inferior biker army. Blood Scar is really cool, but a little too cornate for me. Iron Hands very boring, very boring. A little bit of character in Horus Heresy, but not enough. Imperial Fists, even to me, are even more boring than Ultramarines, but they went up because I love the yellow. I love yellow. I loved Imperial Fist paint scheme is like one of the best ones, but everything about them boring. Dorn I find to be the most boring Primarch by like he is the like he's still a Primarch, he's still amazing, right? But he's like I wouldn't even say average. Like he's not the worst at anything. Well, maybe he is. He's just too boring. He's ultra boring. Guilliman's least cool, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm not offending Imperial Fist players. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your Primarchs. Space Wolves. I love everything about them. Russ is amazing. Army's amazing. I love everything about Space Wolves. I don't know if I forgot anybody. Oh, Raven Guard. I love Raven Guard. I love their playstyle. I love Corax. Even though Corax is a little bit of a sad panda, but like I love his story on Deliverance, all that kind of stuff. Like I love this Raven Guard really good. For the plain Jane Marines, Raven Guard I love the history, lore, background the most. Imperial Fist I love the paint scheme the most. That, but oh, more than that, I love the Dark Angels paint scheme like even more than the Imperial Fist, and I love their history even more than the Raven Guard. Dark Angels are obviously my. Uh, I I love me some Lion, but he's not even close to like the best. That man is incredibly fun, but they all are in their different ways, right? Like the Lion is like he's almost boring in the fact that he's so predictably flawed. Like, they all are predictably flawed in their flaws. But like the Lion can't get out of his own way. Imperial Fist the best. Plasma Seekers? What are Plasma Seekers? Oh, Plasma Seekers. Buddy, don't worry, Frenchie. I sold that army. I don't have that army no more. But if those Horse Heresy plastic rumors are real, which looks like they are, I might have to do a Raven Guard army. I think the plasma for the Dark Angels are going to love even more. Rate the Chaos Basement. Yeah, I know. The army, buddy, I couldn't play it. It was too overpowered. Okay, so Iron Warriors are so vast and explain. So I will in a minute. They can be anything. They can be boring. They can be. Iron Warriors are such a huge legion. They can be anything, right? So they're like a whatever legion for me. I don't. They're not the best. They're not the worst. They're grunts. The Iron Warriors are grunts. Perturabo is, I think, my favorite Primarch. He is so flawed and is such a child. Like Johnson. He's so like I find Johnson Perturabo very very similar actually. They're biggest enemies themselves. But I mean, Johnson's a little more stoic and moody, whereas Perturabo just more angry and irrational. So he's a little more entertaining. So that's why he's my favorite. My audio keeps coming out. Is anybody else having that audio issue? Let me know if there's an audio issue. Word bearers I think are fantastic. Erebus, amazing, amazing. Logar, not boring, but not all. He'll never be my favorite Primarch, but at least he's not boring. I love everything about the Word Bear. Luna Wolves, I'm not a fan. But maybe because I haven't read enough Luna Wolf, I haven't read enough of Horus novels in particular, which I keep hearing are the best ones. Oh, I almost did a Word Bearers World Eaters army. I love the World Eaters in Heresy. I have no interest of them in 40k. Slaanesh. And the story, okay, well, Emperor's Children. I think fantastic in Horus Heresy. A little bit boring in 40k. Kind of like the Thousand Sons. Pretty cool in Heresy. A little boring in 40k for me. But the story of Rylanor makes me love the Emperor's Children. I love the Rylanor story is like the best bit of lore, and like those guys did that song. I typically don't like fan made, not fan made songs. I typically don't like YouTube, like people who make music. It's just not for me. Typically, there are some really good stuff out there, but that Rylanor, those guys that made that song, like knowing the story and then following the song is so much better. I think they nailed it. But like the story of Rylanor, some of the best lore. I guess not necessarily Heresy, Scouring. I guess technically, tied to the Heresy. Black Templars are amazing. I love the Black Templar. I love everything about Black Templar. No, I have no brushes that I prefer. I don't care. I'll use anything. I use Citadel brushes. I don't use dollar store brushes. Maybe those are garbage. I don't know. I only use Citadel brushes and whatever the local gaming store I have has in stock. I don't take care of my brushes. I burn through them like crazy. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do an all Imperial Fist Gravis army myself. That Gravis army is now turning into a Dark Angels Gravis army. I sitting over there. Yeah, so Frenchie, I had to sell that army because it was just like an auto win. Drop pods and plasma, and no, it was not fun for anybody to play against. I mean, whatever. I can't play this army. I might as well get my money back out of it. You can't honestly say that you enjoyed playing against that army. Well, guys, we're talking about my Horus Heresy Raven Guard. It was built around Decapitation Strike if you play Horus Heresy. And it was a super alpha strikey, your opponent doesn't get to play type. It's all drop pods and quality guns. And I'm not gonna be mad at anybody for not wanting to play. I can't think of a quote from a Primarch. Dave was super excited for 30k World Leaders for a while. He was looking on eBay for an army. Um, Something fell through. Like he had some offers. Some people were asking way too much. But yeah, I think he lost interest. I think people were trying to charge just a stupid amount of money for their armies. That he stopped looking. I think he lost it. He hasn't worked on he hasn't thought about Heresy that I know of. Like maybe he's super excited still, but yeah, but at least the Thousand Suns they get toned down. Well, they technically got toned, but my Raven Guard I couldn't tone it down. Like it was only I only had like 3 or 4,000 points. Do I like or play Final Fantasy? Final Fantasy is the greatest franchise in the history of art. I never played the online. I never played the MMO. I love Final Fantasy. My first ever RPG was Final Fantasy 6. Well, in North America, it was called Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo. Um, that's I think that's the greatest video game ever made. Greatest story, greatest characters. I love that game to death. And then I played all the Nintendo. I played everyone since. Yeah, Final Fantasy is. Oh, except for Final Fantasy 9. So I never played Final Fantasy 9 when it came out, but I bought it for my iPad like a couple years ago. I played a few hours and the game crashed, and never got back into it. I am working on Eldar again. I'm gonna finish his army this weekend. Well, who's your sorry? Got itchy nose again. I Hero Fist, awesome color scheme if you do them with a bit of an orange tint. But I don't like Sigismund is awesome. I'll give you that. Sigismund is awesome. Dorn, you just you got him support. I don't know if anything's happening with that Stormbolter. I have no idea. I didn't know that happened. Yeah, so Frenchie, I couldn't make a garbage Raven Guard list with the models I had. I could make it. I can. And things like there's things like I could have made it better. Oh yeah, Pollux for sure. Pollux for sure. Lexus Pollux. He's another amazing Imperial Fist character. Yeah, the models I had, Frenchie, I couldn't make a bad Raven. But I could have bought some stuff and made it even better. Well, I guess I could. You're right. Hold on, let me rephrase it. I guess I could have, but it wouldn't have felt in any way Raven Guard. Like, I want my armies to feel something, somewhat to do with their Legion. If I'm not playing stealthy or assault or whatever, I don't want to play generic. I don't want to play Ultramarines like Raven Guard or Raven Guard like Ultramarines. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm for the Battle Pilgrims. I'm gonna do I. So basically, you're asking what's the heraldry of the knight, the dead knight they're carrying. I like the idea of the red and yellow that the box art comes with. However, I might do red and blue. I haven't made a full decision, but I want the battle programs to look like they're wearing a bit of the heraldry colors of the knight, but I want them to be in very much browns and bland colors. So I want them to have the colors of the knight. I'm probably gonna paint the banners and pendants on the shields in the knight's heraldry, but the pilgrims themselves are gonna probably be very bland, like very brown. I think. But basically, I'll start putting paint on, and the paint scheme will evolve on. So. I'm your spirit animal. I haven't talked to Clarence in forever. A while back, I posted something on Facebook about Kings of War, and he replied like he's down for a game. But this was a couple years. I'm gonna assume once, yeah, once we get back up and running proper, and people all to come into the building, we'll get that boy back. He is one of the most entertaining, knowledgeable, and just fun people to play against. I've ever played. I'm assuming he will definitely be. I shouldn't speak for the guy, but I'll make sure he's aware of any fancy event when we actually get to. I'm assuming the guy's still interested in fantasy. I don't know. I don't know much about Nurgle. I'm not the guy to give you advice. But my thing is we gotta make a legal list, like a list that you're able to play with. Buy whatever you think looks cool. Like when I start an army, I typically try to make a list that I think will look cool, have some functionality, but I don't necessarily go for the good stuff right away. If, for example, if this Eldar army I'm working on, if I want Dark Reapers in it, I'm gonna paint a bunch of other stuff first. so that I don't just paint Dark Reapers in a way, only use my Dark Reapers. And so stuff I know is going to be really good, I want to add later. I have motivation to paint something because I want it. It's really good. But paint the crap stuff first, is my opinion. Not that these Wraithguard are crap, but they might. I still think they're overcost. Basically, my advice is don't paint everything that you want right away. Give yourself some room to want to add to your. Like, I know I need Waste Serpents in this army. I'm not painting them right away. No, I'm going to have to eventually paint Waste Serpents. So no, the men at arms are going to bear the heraldry of the um the Bretonnian Lord. The army, the first list I'm building is built around a questing Bretonnian Lord. But yeah, I still need to find more. I was able to. I don't know if I told you. I was able to get more knights. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing the archer stakes first. But I need to find a few more things. There's a few more things I want to get, but if I find it nothing, I was able to get my hands on an unpainted paladin, a couple of characters, 3. Um, so yeah, I have a 2,400 point list with the models on the way to me, ready to go. But there's still some more things I'm gonna have to. Very character heavy right now. I'm trying to find some opportunity. It's just the price cost for fantasy miniatures, out of production fantasy miniatures, is through the roof right now. Like, and weirdly, it's something. It's not people are asking for a lot of money on eBay; they're getting a lot of. I'm assuming it's Total War that's causing this. Yeah, I talked about this already. Yeah, I'm no, well, they're only if you only pay for it. I also tell you. Yeah, I'm looking for. I want to find 20 more men at arms, another box of archers, 3 to. Well, I need 3 more battle pilgrims, but I could 3 to 9, but I need 3. Maybe another trebuchet. But like trebuchets, I can find a trebuchet right now. There's a few around me for sale for $200. I don't know if I want to pay $200 for a trebuchet. That's the thing. Like the prices are just real high right now. I played Beastman for fantasy yesterday. 2 games. I used my Age of Sigmar Beast Chaos on their round basis. We put in my movement trays, and Luca played an army that used our Age of Sigmar models as well, and we both played scaled up size wise. So mathematically, it's the same amount of attacks. The only difference is technically the table felt a little smaller, but we just played on the whole thing. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed playing Beastman. But if you watch my Beastman review, all the stuff we said to do, I didn't do, and all the stuff we said not to do, it was fantastic. Oh. And Cron 1, that's none of your business. We just play Warhammer. It does matter if they're already painted. It does. I want to paint them myself. Unless the paint's real thin, I can strip them. That's the, well, metal models are easy to strip. Super easy. But like this Bretonnian project is something I'm super excited for. I mean, I could. Yeah. See, like I could just went out and bought Bretonnian army, painted, and played it. This is gonna be my Bretonnian. This was a project I was going to do a while ago. I ultimately decided not to work on other things. Yeah, I have. My Bretonnian Knights were the first models I bought was the Warhammer 5th edition, Bretonnia and Lizardman, and then I eventually built out and bought a full Lizardman army later. Right? Never did the Bretonnians proper. Well, yeah, I never did them proper. Let's go ahead and start putting second coats on. I feel like contrast dries ridiculously fast. Yes, you find. I don't know how you're able to find stuff sometimes, dude. Yeah, I'm doing way later. I'm doing every book. I have them all. I'm doing every fantasy 8th edition playable army. I don't know the order. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Morning from ND. What's? Hey Kyle. Sorry, I don't know ND. What's ND? I bet. Yeah, I mean, bet. Fantasy is few and far between here in Canada. So, oh, North Dakota. I do like Elder lore. I don't know a lot of the Elder lore. Sorry, like the deep lore. I know the basics. I know the basics for most of the craft worlds, like the main craft world, and a few of like Elton's are, a few of the secondary craft worlds are the not primary ones. But I haven't read any Eldar. What? Seriously? Do they have the defensive stakes? Hi. Kyle, I don't know how long you've been here, but okay, so I played 2 games with the Beastman yesterday. Everything we talked about is really good and what you should do. Either I wasn't able to do or I just didn't do. And everything like this is bad, don't do it. I did exactly that. I don't want to give spoilers away. I want to talk about those 2 games. I had a blast. I had a blast. Magnus, I love the Wraiths the most, and Aspect Warriors. I like, but even just plain Jane Guardians. Hello, Ebenezer Scrooge. Well, I mean, I had 2 units of Gores, Kyle, with shields, because that's what they were armed with. My God, that's such a bad option for them. Um, in 2 games, because it happened right away. I don't mind giving minor spoilers. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I did well. Okay. In both games, minor spoilers, minor spoilers, minor. This happens right away. I rolled a 6 for my Brain Herd ambush. Turn 1. Which turned out to be amazing. And I took, for points and stuff, I really wanted, I don't know if I should say, oh, okay, yeah, because it won't matter for the Bat Ram. Yeah, I can strip that. I can strip that from the Trebuchet. Sorry, Molder. I took the Ruby Ring of Ruin, so I'd have some like long range chaff killing. Oh, I took the Lord of the Wild. I took it, dude. I don't even care. Both games. Both games I was unable to pick my spells. I rolled. I think for both games I rolled a 2, 3, 4, 6, and I swapped 4 for like the signature type of thing where you move D6 whatever. The only spell I cast in both games. Oh, this is a spoiler, but it doesn't matter because it. My okay, guys. If you don't want some fancy, this Friday's coming fantasy spoilers. Minor spoilers coming ahead. I need to tell Kyle. So just stop. Mute me for like 60 seconds. I just summoned on a. Okay, I'm muted. I just summoned on a Gorgon multiple times, or once, turn 1, in their backline. Never once took a wound on my shaman from it. Never once cast another spell or dispelled, and that Gorgon dominated it. Like it would, Bright Herd ambush and that Gorgon behind them. No, it was Kyle. It was so good. It was so good. Loyal. The only spell I cast was the 6th spell. I just summoned on a Gorgon, and it's all he did. So I essentially played without a wizard, and just had a Gorgon come on the table edge. Turn 1. It was amazing. Like again, everything I have to go back and redo our review and be like, I'll put a clip at the beginning. So everything that we say don't do, do it. It's pretty cool. It works. And everything that we say do, you don't have to. Just do the stuff we said don't do. I had 2 units. Probably listen. I had 2 units of Gores, 1 unit of 18, 1 unit of 15 with shields. The Cygor did nothing. He never once hit with his rock, but that's just dice. Oh wait, this is spoilers. Stop! I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Yeah, Anthony, 100%, 100%. We're gonna bring people back in the second people have to come back into the building proper. Yeah, I still think the Cyber is because everything it could have did. Hey Kyle, okay, so the spell I can't remember what it's called. I don't have the book here. Um, it's 12-inch. Everything has to take a leadership test or take wounds with no stage allowed. Whatever, whatever. we couldn't find an FAQ, so we played a straight leadership test. Basically, they used the general's leadership in the Battle Center Bear, so it did nothing. Would you do the same thing? I had so much fun playing this game. Jason Whittle, that's the best games, in my opinion, are when people bring. Yeah, it's Devolve. It's Devolve. The best games, in my opinion, are when players bring things everybody says not to bring. So much fun. And that's one thing I like to give Luca credit for, because Luke and I will do that most commonly with each other. I'll say this: I found the new most overpowered magic item in the game. Luca, he brought a Elector count with a Rune Fang, so he only has, which is dumb. Like, don't do that. But he had 15 points left over, so he bought the Talisman of Protection, 6 up ward save. My God, is that thing broken? So obviously, Luca played some really bad lists to play down to the beats. Oh, he had a blast. You do get your General's Legion for Spirit Legion, but that was FAQ too. Like, well, I guess not to allow you to clarify that. Painting Eldar Guardians slowly. Oh, okay. So I noticed a setting you can monetize your streams. I clicked OK. What happens? Are you guys getting ads in this? In which case, I'm like, if it's like, is there video ads? I won't do that ever. Let me know if there's actual like video ads. I don't think that would happen, but if that does, I'll never won't do this. I won't do that again. Thoughts to do Orc Boys? Love them. I don't need Orc Boys. I have enough. Because I don't really like Orc Boys, but I'm gonna buy a bunch of those because they're new and they cool. Was it Murphy? Was it a video ad? And did it interrupt this stream? That's lame if that happens. I apologize, but thank you for your 1/10 of a penny. As long as you didn't skip it, then it's 1/20 of a penny. Yeah, I'm getting some of those Orc Boys. I have to paint some of those Orc Boys. Oh, I know. So Anthony, I appreciate. So I know that when I do, for some reason, people on mobile devices are getting just a butt ton of ads on like the Battletome reviews, and it's just the mobile people. I can't figure out why. I can't fix it. Shaq, I hope that's I hope I agree with that statement in the new Orc Codex, because I want to. Every time I play Orcs, people want me to bring a ton of Orc Boys. I don't like boys. I like my toys. I hope that book makes me like boys, and I bring a bunch of them. I just don't like to put a bunch of malls on the table just to take them off. But I love me some Orcs. Something on my desk clicking. I know you guys can't hear it. It's rattling and hitting something. Oh, it's that guy. I figured it out. Yeah, archers with command, absolutely. It's Bretonnia. You always bring command with your peasants. I love that the peasants just don't count. You give no extra points for banners. Murphy, I appreciate that. Yeah, I wish everybody felt the same way. I personally used to use ad blocker until I created my own YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, somebody's putting a bunch of work, time, and money into their channel. I'll turn my ad. If I delete, I've never used ad blocker since. So when I started my channel like 3 years ago, that was it. I was done with ad blocker. But at the same time, it's just like you can't expect anybody. Like, not gonna fault anybody for having ad blocker. I'm not mad. Well, yes and no, Jacob. Okay, so mini wargaming, we're doing a slow grow. Except for some people are just too slow at painting. So we did the first video, we recorded part of it already, where we rolled up our stuff. A couple of us had to change what we rolled. Like Luca rolled a void raven bomber, and I rolled a falcon for the Eldar. And we just we couldn't get him in stock. We waited literally a month and a half, and they couldn't get him in stock, so we just re-rolled. I got a Wraith. Luca got a Raider as the reroll. And where was I going with all this? Oh yeah. I painted up my slow growth starting stuff right away. I got it all done. I think Josh is done as well. I know Cullen's not done, but he might be done by now. He might be done actually. And Luca is almost. But I got tired of waiting, so I just started painting more Eldar. I'm like, wait a second, I'm painting more. I put together a list and I plan on covering it when the army book comes. I'm painting a lot more than the slow growth. Hello, Quebecistan. Who's playing what? Oh, Luca's playing Dark Eldar, Yukari. Colin's playing Tau. Josh is playing Harlequins. We're all doing Xenos. And Dave is doing Orcs. So, I don't know. I haven't seen Dave. I know I'm not going to speak for him. Yeah, it's a Xeno slow grow. Everybody's starting brand new armies. But stock issues have been problems. I think the stock issues have been resolved. Or else this would have been out a long time ago if it wasn't for the stock issue. Our store just couldn't get anything. Couldn't get anything on Games Workshop. I think, Jacob, that might be accurate. I think Luca might be the slowest. I'll tell you something though. Um, I don't even know how to phrase this. Luca is the best painter I know who doesn't paint. Luca has maybe in the past 5 years spent 20 or 30 hours painting in 5 freaking years. Doesn't paint. Maybe he's done a little bit more than that. His Drukhari looks so good. He is taking his time. He is edge highlighting, and he is edge highlighting with 3 colors, one color, then the other. Like he's painting like he paints professionally 24/7. Like I can't believe. Like I'm not. I wish you're saying you're exaggerating. Can't wait till you guys see his Drukhari. I haven't seen Cullen's doing. Shouldn't be talking about it. Cullen's doing Farsight I haven't seen anything he's done yet. Josh is doing. I can't remember the mask he chose, but Josh has this black and purple thing going. It's I don't know how to put it. Like it's like he picks some solid colors, and the work Josh did on like the masks, like the actual masks that they're wearing. And Josh is not a painter, so like he doesn't paint. He nailed it. Like his faces on his Harlequins are so freaking good. That your eye gets drawn right to. And like Josh and Lucas don't paint. So it's almost sad to see how well they're doing for guys who just never do it. Hey Dan, yeah, I mean, my first Necron was exactly that. It was like a chrome spray, but then I did an Agrax Earthshade wash because I wanted to make them look dirty, and then a dry brush. Jeez, just, John, how are you doing this? Do you just know every Warhammer Fantasy player in the UK? Okay, I could say in a mini wargaming Warhammer Fantasy video that I'm looking for these models, and I might find somebody in a couple of weeks who might have something. And there's like 25, 30,000 people watching that. You find him in minutes. Who are you? So Shaq, that is a very common problem with a lot of people. Even Luca was going through a bit of that. I'm like, Luca, you're done. Stop it. You've edge highlighted enough. You're done. And then like a lot of like these, I don't like the way these look right now, but I know how they're gonna look when I'm done. Once I finish blocking in like the shading and stuff like there's a bunch of shading like edge highlighting and shading needs to be done. Like models to me, they don't look good until like they look. I always find my this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And oh, done, good. But then you have to at that point done good. I can do a bunch more and make it look better. But at the same time, as if I do that, that's less work I'm putting at something else. So get it to the table, play a game with it. I'm not putting this in a glass cabinet. These aren't display pieces. Just put them on the table. Then you're done. Yeah, I already bought the line. He is sitting. He's still in his box, which I thought was on my desk. Yeah, yeah, definitely when I get to that project. I can't wait to get the line. I don't know how I'm gonna magnetize him yet. I haven't really looked at his hands, but if I don't magnetize him, I'm assuming I'm just putting the wolf's bane on. Um, okay, so the NHS means something different here than it does over there. I don't know what the NHS. Jason, same. That's like the greatest model of well, one of the greatest models in all of Warhammer. As Hag the Slaughter is one of the the greatest Warhammer fantasy models is Llewyn Leoncoeur, as Hag the Slaughterer, probably Vlad. What are the best models fantasy? They're probably all going to be characters. Okay, so yeah, that for me it's Niagara Health Services. Oh, Green Knight's a good model. Green Knight's a good model. I wouldn't say it was one of the greatest, but yeah, he's a good model. Yeah, because NHS to me is the like I live in Niagara Health. Like, what are the worst models? See, what are the worst models in general? Well, that'd be some of the old Harlequins, I think, or the old metal Wraith Lords from like Rogue Trader era that were painted like Harlequins. So goofy. We actually have some of them in the studio that I refuse to let them to throw away, give away, strip, or anything. They have to stay the bad Harlequin paint scheme. It is a draw. I don't know. Vlad's Keiko. Luca has what he calls Vlad's pimp ring sculpt, where he's wearing a ring the size of his fist, and he's got the stupid flat cap. Like the last Vlad sculpt, where his cloak is all doing weird ghostly bat things, and it's a metal cast, but that one was amazing. I love that Vlad. Old Nids, no, the Seven Phase Three. Yeah. You're right. Old Nids, worst Games Workshop models for sure. The old Carnifex, I don't even know what they were thinking. Grimgor Ironheart is a good model. Corbin Ironclaw is a good model. I'll give you that. A lot of the orc characters are nice. The Ragnarok models are too realistic for me. Fourth edition Nagash, Jason, you better clarify right now. Are you talking about an amazing model or a terrible model? Because that is an amazing model. That giant skeleton clown is the greatest thing Games Workshop has ever. Jason, that is the greatest thing Games Workshop has ever produced. How dare you? Oh, the Wood Elf. Yeah, I just recently got a Wood Elf. Like I talked about the fifth edition Wood Elf Dragon. That's the only time they had a Wood. No, they had one with the sisters as well. The seventh edition. So I just recently got Josh a fifth edition Wood Elf Dragon. I love that model. Jeremy, Jeremy, you better be talking about like the Wood Elf Dragon or something. Because if you're also talking about Nagash fourth edition, we're gonna have problems. Yeah, the fifth edition Wood Elf Dragon. Gelrock, Gelrock, awful model, terrible model, disgusting model, stupid model. I don't know what like. It doesn't. There's no possible way it stands up. It was one of the stupidest things Games Workshop's ever produced. How could anybody hate fourth? Oh man, a bad paint job is real bad on this bottle. All right. Show it off. Huh. Assuming you guys aren't seeing anything, why won't this show? Oh, because I don't have. I can't show it to you. I was fooling around with my settings. Everybody needs to go Google the fourth edition Nagash model because it is the Games Workshop has ever produced. Slaughtermaster. What's that one? Some of the orc models are real bad looking.
Oh, the Slaughtermaster. Yeah, the ogre guy. That's a good model. I like that model. Machine Spirit said no. I don't know why I removed it. Add this chapter. I'm spelling the Yash incorrectly. But what? I give up. I don't want to do this right now. Just want to show you guys. Frederick, I am doing fantastic. Old Ikit Claw? I like Old Ikit Claw. There is a new Ikit Claw model. He's the one with the big gauntlet opened up. He has a modern model. I think it came out not that long ago. Yeah, like the old fantasy goblins. Like how old? Like the 40K goblin models. I don't know. Like sorry, the old one. I think it was the what edition came? Was it? It's second edition. Second edition goblins with their weird rifles that are embedded in their chest. Then the last goblin kit, fantasy. I've actually never seen those models in person. Ooh, I don't think because Ikit Claw doesn't exist, right? He's just called a warlock. Like the Ikit Claw himself no longer. You know, I'm seeing a lot of mostly Instagram, but more and more Fantasy Army 3D print files. Like like they're not Bretonians, but like a Bretonian ripoff, or they're not Empire, but they're Empire ripoff. And I didn't realize like I saw like there's like one company, a Russian company, that does Tomb Kings and Lizardmen. I thought were absolutely amazing. I didn't think there was that many others, but there are so many of them out there. There's that one company that Collins bought from. They just sell like they're clearly Skaven, but they're not called. None of those Ratmen exist. And I guess Games Workshop doesn't really Games Workshop doesn't do any sanctioned Warhammer Fantasy type event. I mean, they don't really do many events. Hunga, yeah. The Skaven ones. Hunga miniatures is those beautiful, and they're not like. But Games Workshop doesn't do any form of fantasy, like Warhammer Fantasy events at all. Right? Like they only do Age of Sigmar for. They don't support. Like they don't do anything for Battlefield Gothic. Any of their games they no longer sell. I'm sure they do Blood Bowl stuff. Okay, Shaq. Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. And the only reason why you can't use it is that old metal one never came with wings. But he did come with a warp bolter. No, I agree. The old metal one was better. I'm not a fan of the current Demon Prince plastic. Now, when a Chaos Codex comes out for ninth edition, I kind of expect a new Demon Prince kit. Why would you say why are you asking this, Ben? Old World is a lost cause. No, it's not even out yet. How is it a lost cause? Like, what? Is there something I'm not aware of? Why are you asking me that question? Yeah, Shaq, I agree. A lot of nice malls fans. Yeah, I would expect a new Skaven Battle Tome within 2021 or 2022. I'm gonna expect to read a bunch in 2021, but not everybody's gonna get one. No, so in the third edition rulebook, you no longer get +1 bravery for every 10 models. But Skaven have a rule; they get +1, +2 bravery for every 10, right, or something like that. But where's that rule? Like, is that in their allegiance abilities, or else they're not gonna get that anymore? I was just thinking about that the other day. I have to look into that. No, Sven, I'm sorry, but you're way off. They announced that there's things. No, the silence does not mean anything negative about the old world at all. You're reading you're making up a story in your head with because you have lack of information. No, that is by no means any negative indication whatsoever. I would expect to get less and less information as they get closer and closer to the release. We are still probably a good year and a half away from any real information about the game, let alone its release. Yes, give me a second. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even like no. The Warhammer Fantasy community has only been growing. Oh, you're less. So strength and number page 7. So it's in their allegiance abilities. Okay, they're going to maintain that extra rate because all the Skaven models are on like at least 28 mil bases, right? They're not on 25 mil bases, or are they? No, they are. I can't remember. They literally did an old world dump with the announcement of Total War Warhammer 3. What do you mean by that? You're talking about like what do you mean by that? Yeah, exactly. They said 3 years away at the absolute earliest when they announced it. I gotta assume things got a little bit delayed with the worldwide problem, or maybe I got sped up because of that. Because I don't know. Do you ever convert the DM prints to the Lord of the Rings Balrog wings? No, I hate that. I see so many of them. They're too big. They get in the way. I hate people who do that. What do you think the dumbest old world rumor is I'm going with it being War Master Epic Scale. I really hope it's not. I'm not gonna say that's dumb because what if that's true, right? I really hope it's. I highly, highly, highly doubt it. I highly doubt it'll be Epic Scale, and I would hate if it was. So yeah, I'll call that the dumbest one too, but it could be true. I don't think. Okay, you talk about infoing Kislev and yeah, okay, yeah. You're playing 5th edition of Fantasy. You're playing Hero Hammer. Man, 5th edition is like the only edition I don't think I would ever go back to. I don't know. Maybe I should try it again. It says instead of one, it's going to get argued all anymore. You don't get 2 instead of nothing. I would still allow skating players to get 2 every 10. But it'll probably be addressed in Journal's Handbook? FAQ? Maybe not. 75% characters in 5th edition. Yeah, but you also have to pay. I remember correctly, I was really young when 5th edition was. You also have to pay for unit sergeants out of your character allowance. Yeah, I did reply to you. Why are we having? Yes, yes. Um, I'll I can I can send you another email, or I can if you want me, I'll just I don't know if you want to keep it private, but I can explain in here or another email if you like. But yeah, no, I do, man. Hit eBay. You're gonna get a like you're gonna get people are buying it, right? Sell it for that price. Like I said, I can't believe how much people are not that what they're asking for fantasy managers or what they're getting. How do you like it, Ninth Age, Frederick? If you want, if you feel like typing it out, give me your mini review of Ninth Age. Couldn't like Bretonian lords also just jump on a dragon and fifth edition as well? Like everybody could take a dragon. Yeah, I said it before. My theory is Total War has created such a buzz about fantasy, but people are getting into the game. And while many of the armies are still available to buy, um, through Games Workshop still, I think there's some appeal about the out of production stuff, and people are just able to sell and get just crazy amounts of money, some stuff. Um, which is like I was planning on buying some stuff and leaving in the closet for like a project I might pay. I have another High Elf army in my closet. That, you know, for the theme is missing one piece, and the cost of the piece is like I found a guy who's willing to sell it for a very reasonable price compared to what they're selling for. It's just not worth it for me to stick in my closet. I am doing very well. Moose Leon, Kyle. Moose Leon. I played against Zinch Demons yesterday. Bad. Man, the lore Zinch is bad. It's the. But you do Moose Leon. Also, do you still have the miniatures? Yeah. See, I'm more interested in the Warhammer Armies project than I think. Sure, project, do it up. But like I will give the Ninth Age a good thorough read through. Well, probably not. Probably by the end of the year. Yeah, the elves are mostly the high elves are mostly. Colin doesn't play Age of Sigmar, so I have no idea. Colin, I don't think he's ever even read the Age of Sigmar rules. He played a couple of games that's still in bat rep guy. Like he's barely played 40k. And he's getting into 40k right. He's fantasy and 40k is like he because of the Bretonians I've been like working on in a roundabout way. Um, he's thinking about painting his door, but he's got to finish off a couple other projects. Saw your video on raw bases and movement trays. What's your opinion on models that have different base sizes between AOS and Warhammer like Source Wars? How it affects frontage? It doesn't. So Bevan, it doesn't affect frontage. Um, if both players are doing it. The only models that currently transfer from Age of Sigmar to Warhammer Fantasy, basically, Slaanesh Demonettes and Chaos Marauders go on 25 mil rounds, and there are movement trays you can buy that slot them in that space them exactly to what the 25 squares would be. So those two units you can buy special movement trays and they slot in and play perfectly fine against square based stuff mathematically. Everything else doesn't work. The frontage gets too big. But if both players are playing the same round bases, the frontage is the same for both players. And anytime there's any kind of confusion, like I did a two bat reps yesterday, which will probably go up next Friday, where I played Beastman and Cullen played Zinch and then Empire, and sorry, Luca did. and we both played with our Age of Sigmar collection. And at any point when we're like, okay, how many models would be fighting this monster? What we did is the monster would be on a 50 by 100 mil base, and he's fighting guys that would be on 25 mil bases. So 4 of the guys are going to fight. So we just did the math. Whenever it was confused, like not confusing, whenever it wasn't immediately clear by a glance, which only came up with the monsters. Anytime it was infantry, it worked absolutely fine. Which miniatures? I'm sorry, Kyle, I'm having 5 conversations. Which miniatures? I don't know what you mean by that. Just buy Black Knights for all your knights. Bush Leon, everything. Dead. Ooh, actually, that's not a bad. I could have did that. Blood Knights for Grail Knights. Black Knights for Knights of the Realm. Wait, that's just a. You think the 9th Age has better balance? I'll have to look into it. I can't remember. Donald Ross, I can't remember. We have a bunch of these MDF movement trays that are for round bases to play square base. I can't remember where we got them. My idea first. No. Oh, you're talking about doing Bretonnians, Mussolini, right? I thought you got rid of your collection. You can always find more, I guess. But I can't. Yeah. Anyways, the movie trays. I can't remember where I bought them from. I can't find them. I'm sure if I did enough looking, I could figure them out. I cannot remember where I bought them. Kyle. A 6 square? I'm gonna look that up right now. I can't type with things in front of me. Products. Wait a minute, I recognize this stuff. I play with this stuff. Welcome to the stream where I'm shopping. I literally gonna go shopping after this is done. Okay, yeah. So my vampire counts kind of was like Mussolini themed vampire counts. And like the at the time, this is years ago. At the time, the newest Black Knights hadn't been released yet. I just had like the crappy old Black Knights. So I took a Bretonnian Knight kit, Graveguard, kit bashed them to make. I don't use them that often, or ever. There's this I have 2 movement trays for my goblins. My Gretchen for 40k. That Quirk actually, he bought them or someone gave them to him at Adepticon a few years ago, and then he ended up giving them to me. They're clearly 3D printed with like what are the 3D printers called with the filament one, whatever. They're clearly 3D printed, and they have like magnets on the side, and they can like magnetize to another base. I would love to find that company. I want to buy more of those because like the bases like they get close enough together. I want to find that. I remember to point it out next time. Watch any of my Orc and Goblin bat reps. No, sorry, my 40k Orc bat reps. Goblins are always in those movies. Anybody knows where they're from? Please point it out. Six Squares in the studio is in Ontario. Ontario is a big province, though. Wait, everybody lives in the one area. Okay, you might be really close to me. See Zardos, yeah, that would be an amazing looking army. Stop, Stormbolter, stop. I'll send you an email. We have to figure something out here. Hey, Scarcast is here. Hey, Scary. I'm getting nothing done as usual. And I got like 15 minutes, so I have to go because I have an appointment this afternoon. But these painting streams are literally just chat streams and pretend I put black on some guns. Stormbolter, yeah, you're like a drug dealer, bro. Stormbolter is like the greatest guy ever. Everybody needs to know this. He is literally the greatest. Also, he can find you any kind of plastic crack you need. When you see my Bretonnian army, it is 100% because of Stormbolter. Plastic crack. Aren't you like a health field? You're not. See, have you played D&D 5th edition? And if so, have you any suggestions for Games Workshop miniature? What? One, I have played a little bit of 5th edition D. Yeah. Yeah, every week. I play every week. Matt's my DM, and we play every week, and we never, ever, ever miss a. I think in like 2 years, we had one. No, because one time it was landing on too close to Christmas. We actually just. No, I think we may have missed one session in like 2 years. Later, Scary. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody check out Scarcast. Greatest Dark Elf player and just a fantastic player all around. And one of the nicest guys. Check out Scarcast. Everyone who says Warhammer's a dream. So you're the cause of and solution to all my problems? Oh, I got edge highlight all these guns. All the black has to be edge highlighted now just to make it pop. And then I got to gloss coat them, shade them. Then you got to paint all like the coil things in the back of the knees and the wrists and stuff like that. Glue the heads on. Oh, good. Satin coat them afterwards. Just the head station. Using Games Workshop miniatures. Oh yeah, we use fantasy miniatures all the. So obviously for the last year or so, we've been playing D&D through Discord, but we used to play at Matt's house like before, and like all the every time you go to play something in Fantasy or Age of Sigmar or whatever, we go like I can't find miniatures, whatever. Oh wait, they're probably at Matt's house because we use them for D&D. Yeah, we use tons of Games Workshop stuff for D&D all the time, like crazy. Everything. There's always skeletons and marauders and goblins and just everything. Every generic looking human was at his house. How Lisbon of 40k? No, Lisbon were good. Are good in. I think there's a lot of. Well, I mean, it's very unique play style. that has that like they it did. I think everything ranked up just looks cooler than everything skirmish. I think like I don't know. The whole is greater than its parts. I think that's a main thing. It is a very different playstyle, which I think appeals to me for sure, and Cullen and Luca, and I'm gonna assume everybody who enjoys fantasy. Wait, that Lumineth army was yours, John Stormbolter? I get so many of them. I don't always remember. That was you. That was you. That was somebody else. That was somebody. That was a different person in my head for some reason. You? I guess it was. I don't know about that country gaming. I'm gonna assume 40 to 80 zombies for sure. I would probably. I don't know. I haven't really played around making lists, but like, I think a solid list would be 2 units of 40 zombies and a unit of 20 to probably just 20 skeletons. I'm not sure though, because skeletons are bought in 10s or 20s. Zombies are bought in 20s. That's 2-year reinforcements, and skeletons are bought in 10s. So can't go past 30 if they're bought in 10s. But you have to buy them in 20s. Like you have to purchase them in packs of 20, but you have to pay for them in points of in clusters of 10, right? Yeah, I see Zardos. I've seen some amazing. I went with simple and I like yellow, but there's so like there's so many cool looking. You just Google raids. I could like Eldar raids. So many cool color schemes out there. You disagree with round bases on square trays? Oh my goodness. Okay, I have a few minutes. I will talk about this. Nobody say anything else because I'm gonna get distracted. I have to leave. Well, I guess I can go a little bit longer. I have to. I have an appointment at 1. I gotta leave. Um, I don't remove comments from my video. With some exceptions. There's certain things that, like, if you're very harsh about my guest in the bat rep, like if you're just mean or saying horrible things, I'm gonna remove it. Any criticism of myself, I don't care. That video where I said the round bases look nice in the square trays pissed off a couple of people so much that I had to remove their comments. I've never had to do that before. Like, if that upsets you, that I think that the round bases look better than a square base, even like if that upsets you to a point where you have to say horrible things, something wrong with you. You don't have to like what I like. I don't have to like what you like. I can't. I've been doing this for years. I've never had such. I've never had. I've never had to. I never felt the need to remove a comment. That's all I asked. Crazy people. I get it. I get it, Jack. Yes, the wizard with machine gun miniature for D&D. I can't remember if I said that somebody sent a picture of it. I seen it recently. I think it was the picture. I can't remember Tyrion's rules for 5th edition, but I remember he was good. But a lot of characters were good. Like, wasn't the dwarf generic character just the best though? Because the custom magic. I can't remember. It's so long. I was a kid. I was like 12. Good for gaming, you essentially missed everything. We're wrapping up here. I didn't do it. I didn't do. Here, let me catch you up. I didn't do any painting, and we talked about a bunch of random Warhammer stuff. I guess so. Jacobo. I guess so, but like I'm never like I'm never gonna censor my opinion on things. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like, and nobody has to like what I like, and I don't think any less of anybody who likes something I don't like. It doesn't make any sense. So people just be irrational. Like for years, for 40K, I never liked combat. I just never did it. I like shooting armies. Never thought less of the guys who didn't want to shoot, just wanted to charge across the table, even though I knew they were going to lose 100% of the time because combat just didn't work. So the usual, yep, 100%, the usual. He painted two bolters, nice. Yeah, tons of people keep asking for more fantasy. I get that. I mean, one, we're recording it, and two, the recording, like I said 1,000 times, it's super slow because we got a bunch of restrictions, and my province is incredibly strict. Like, oh my god, I don't even. No, it's not my story to tell, so I won't explain. It just there's been a lot of really stupid things. You know what? I'm not gonna talk about it. Yeah. So once I get the remaining episodes filmed, we'll start putting it out. I don't want any interruptions because I can't guarantee this province won't. We're we're not locked down completely, but we're kind of semi-based. You know what? I don't want to explain, but things could get more restrictive here again. So I don't want to put out. Doesn't matter. This stuff is beyond my control. That Christian, that's how. Take photos. Take photos of your tournament. Show me some armies. Show me people are playing. Please, if you can, take photos and send them to me because that sounds amazing. I would love to see those photos. See, this is Frederick Kill. Yeah, be careful, Stormbolter. Because not everyone's coming to you for their fix. Also, Frederick, I totally understand. I would do the same thing. He finds everything. And he found him already. What do you use in Deathwatch as a haunted tank? What's the chariot called? The Castle of Souls. Put some tracks on that. Steve at miniwargaming.com. Yeah, I'll type it out. All pictures there, please and thank you. And tournament play. I want to play in. I plan on playing in the tournaments once they start happening again. And once I get like enough experience, I have tons of experience playing, but just I don't know. I have almost no experience playing without a camera in my hand, so I want to get a bunch of games in without a camera in my hand, and then maybe actually do like the big tournaments. I'm not planning on winning. I'll give it my best, have a good time, and start traveling around, do all the tournaments. That's just so. I have tried to get Dave to fist fight me for so long. Bare knuckle boxing. One day. We'll do a bare knuckle boxing bat rip. Loser. And there's always room for one more Spitfire. Where's the Triple Crown? Never heard of it. I don't really follow the tournament stuff too much, other than after the fact. I like to figure out what's going on in the meta, so I like to check out the lists that are doing well. I follow this stuff after the fact. Jonathan Kelly, I believe. Okay, so I remember correctly. They basically narrowed down the time frame as the time of Magnus, I believe. So would Krell be alive the time of Magnus? I think so. Like, it just makes sense to do like characters from the lore. Like, I would like to see. I would expect to see characters from the deep lore or the old lore, the history of fantasy, in the old world. So yeah, I think Krell would be alive. I can't remember Krell's time frame, but yeah, I think so. Man, the UK's too far, bro. I would love to go to the old world. I mean, the old Warhammer world. I don't want to go to the old world. uh, I think it's the other guy. I think it. Starts with a B. Who's the Phoenix King? Oh, I can't remember. So long ago. Maybe it is Finnabar. But like he wasn't much of a warrior, right? So he doesn't need a model. He was more of a statesman. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they can do anything they want. They can bring Finnabar into the game. I don't think steam tanks would exist. I don't think you're gonna have any black powder weaponry at this time. So far. Okay, cool. It'll be Finnabar. Belhanar. Belhanar? Bell is Bell something. So this is the time frame, if I remember correctly, just after or just before or during. Again, this is around the time Teclis went to the old world to teach the magic. So I don't know what they're actually. They might put it before, during, or after, right around this time. But this is about the time frame where Teclis taught the Winds of Magic to the humans. For sure. I thought they said he was. Also, Magnus is one of the people he taught magic to. Like, Magnus is going to be in this game, and he's going to be a wizard. Right? I mean, that's my assumption. I would expect to see maybe like a black powder, like precursor to a. Might be something. I wouldn't expect to see. Good evening. It is afternoon for me. Just hit. Well, we're winding down, and I'm not painting, so. Oh, you're right, Jonathan. You're right. I am thinking exactly of him. You're 100% right. Yes, the return of the War Wagon. I hope it. I hope the War Wagon. It doesn't have to have rifles. It can just be bows and crossbows and stuff. We better get a War Wagon for sure. But I need to go because I have an appointment in about 30 minutes. Good, whatever part of the day it is. 12:30 for me. Wherever you're from, good, whatever part of the day it is to you. Did they ever put the war wagon? Did they ever? Blah, blah, blah. Did they ever put the war wagon in Total War? You know what? I don't have time for that answer. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll do this again on Tuesday. So Tuesdays and Saturdays, I'll be doing this. Though when I get back into studio proper, like when my channel is able to use the studio proper, the Saturday streams will typically building. Saturdays are typically my filming days, so I'll probably do like live stuff from the studio. I'm working on some stuff. Actually, I got 2 minutes. I'm working on some stuff to live stream my bat reps from the studio that I will then edit down and upload proper on the channel. Anybody actually interested in that? Do you want to see raw live stream of the studio while actually recording fantasy or 40k games? I'm probably gonna try it anyway, but and see if you guys are that at all. But yeah, that's something I'm working on. So the Saturday streams, hopefully soon, will turn into those instead of this. But the Tuesday ones will stay the same. So yeah, if you guys actually want that kind of stuff, it'll be harder for me to pay attention to the chat. I'll probably need somebody to. I'll figure that out. But yeah, that's the plan. Live stream the Saturday stuff from studios while playing games, keeping the Tuesday painting and chatting, keeping it going, and then the random whatever. Hopefully, I fully suspect that. Also, I'm more just hoping that all restrictions get fully released by the end. Fully. So that I can do my channel done and proper. Though I'm having a lot of fun making these random videos, I want my channel to be a Batramp channel, and this stuff just being extra long. So yeah, hopefully we're back to a Batramp channel soon. And but here's the thing: I'll have to have something. If I do the streams in the studio where I set everything up in the corner and have it running, I'll need somebody dedicated to keeping an eye on Jonathan Kelly in the chat. I can't just have him having free reign in the chat. So that's something I gotta worry about. So once I figure out the Jonathan Kelly problem, we'll sort out the live streams. But so here's the thing. So there was gonna be one today. I had a game booked today to record, but something popped up last minute and you couldn't make it in. Or else that's what this was gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna need moderators, and then like I'll need a moderator for the chat, and then one more dedicated to Jonathan Kelly. But yeah, so that was the plan today. Game got canceled, but things are looking good. Things are looking positive. And then yeah, the bathtub streams are coming. I'm just having a Steam issue, but we're sorting that out. But the bathtub streams are 100% coming. The bathe-in paints aren't working. The paints aren't drying fast enough, so we might not be able to get it to work proper. But yeah, that's it. So that's the future. We'll see how that goes. Thanks everybody for watching and for chatting. I had a blast. I'll see you Tuesday, unless I make I'll be putting a video up tomorrow, which I haven't recorded yet. Gonna be ogres? Am I record the ogre video this afternoon? Maybe I'll do the ogre video and put that up tomorrow morning. Ogre Kingdoms. Maybe do something else. Yeah, so that'll be up tomorrow. And then, yeah. Later.